Imagine that the pollination is like a high five for plants. It's one pollen which makes seeds get moved from one flower to another, often by bees or wind. This helps the flower grow fruits and seed, kind of like having babies for plants.
Good day everyone! Welcome to General Biology 2 class. My name is Dinsel Ann Pisabeda, together with my VSK partner,
Lordy Frederick Vivaresha, our topic for today is all about pollination, which is the part of the series on the plant reproduction. To beginning, let's start by giving the definition of the pollination.
Definition.
Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the male part of a flower, called the stamen, to the female part of the flower, called the stigma. This allows plants to reproduce and make seeds. Pollen can be carried by animals like bees and butterfly by the wind or even by water. Pollination is the act of transferring pollen grains from the male under of a flower to the female stigma.
Here are the illustration of flower parts, stamen, and stigma. There are two types of pollination. First is self-pollination. Self-pollination is referred to as the primary type of pollination as it includes a single flower. Self-pollination occurs when pollen grains fall directly from anther into the stigma of the flower. The second one is the cross-pollination. Cross-pollination refers to a complex type of pollination that allows the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of the flower into the stigma of another flower. This method leads to an increase in genetic diversity as different flowers will share and combine their genetic information to create unique offspring. There are also types of cross-pollination. The process of cross-pollination requires the help of biotic and abiotic agents like animals, birds, wind, insects, water, and other agents as pollinators. In conclusion, cross-pollination and self-pollination are achieved with the help of the variety of vectors or agents. For successful pollination, it must occur between the same species. In pollination, pollinators are animals of all types that visit flowers and take away their pollen. Pollen is a sex cell of plants. Examples:
Insects such as honeybees and wasps, and other animals such as a bird, rodents, monkeys, and even humans are all examples of pollinator.
Trivia time! Here are some 3 facts about pollinators you won't believe. Number 1. Bees can carry more than pollen. Plant pathogens like fungi and insect pests can ravage crops if left unmanaged. But conventional pesticides can harm other plants and animals. Number 2. About 75% of all flowering plant species need the help of animals to move their heavy pollen grains from plant to plant for fertilization. And lastly, number 3. Pollinators are hired to help. It's estimated that more than 70% of the flowering plants on Earth need pollinators to produce fruit and seeds.
Quiz time! Please get your reflexionary notebook and pen. Are you guys ready? I can hear you.
Great! Now that you are now ready, let's us now proceed to the direction. Write the word flower if the statement is true and write the word bee if the answer is false. Number 1. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the male part of the flower called the ovule of the female part of the flower called the stigma. This allows plants to reproduce and make seeds. Number 2. Pollen can be carried by animals like bees and butterfly by the wind or even by water. Number 3. Self-pollination is referred to as the primary types of pollination as it includes a single flower.
Are you guys done? I can't quite hear that. Again, is everyone done? Please answer in 3, 2, 1, go. Great! We can now proceed to answer the questions. If you guys answered our questions correctly, you will receive a prize. So, what do you think is the right answer for number 1? Is it the word flower or is it the word bee? Please raise your hand if you know the answer. B is the correct answer for number 1. Great job! What is the word that makes number 1 wrong? The word that makes the sentence wrong for number 1 is ovule. What should be the right word to make the answer for number 1 correct? The right word to make the answer for number 1 correct should be stamen. What do you think is the right answer for number 2? Is it the word flower or is it the word bee? Again, please raise your hand if you know the answer. Flower is the correct answer for number 2. Well done! And lastly, what do you think is the right answer for number 3? Is it the word flower or is it the word bee? Again, please raise your hand if you know the answer. Flower is the correct answer. Good job! But before we end our presentation, can you please raise your hand if you got 3? Wow! Very good! Who got number 2? Please raise your hand. Good job! And finally, who got number 1 or did anyone got a 0? If none, I am really glad that you guys learned in our today's discussion. And now, we finally reached the end of this presentation. Again, I'm Dingsal Ann P. Sabeda, together with my VSK partner, Lord Frederick V. Veresio. Abisala Eshma, and have a good day everyone. Bye-bye!